Hey everyone, my name is Siddharth Sundar and I'm going to be talking to you today about a Canvas application that I made through PowerApps. This application is called the School Event Service, and the purpose of the app, as you can see based on the landing page of this app, is that it's a place where you can view and purchase tickets for various events that are happening at your school. My inspiration for this app is that in the past I've had experience where I've had to wait in long lines trying to purchase a ticket for an event, and especially when you're on a time crunch, when you are, running late for the event, you don't want to be wasting that time trying to wait in line for a ticket and have to end up missing 5 to 10 minutes of your favorite music concert or sporting event. So this application will look to solve that problem by allowing you to purchase a ticket online through this app, and it will give you a email which contains a barcode that can be used for successful entry into the event, as opposed to buying a ticket there and getting a paper ticket. This is one, going to be time efficient, and two, to also be eco-friendly. Another thing is there's no account setup required, which is a benefit of this app as opposed to some other ticketing systems out there. And finally, this is easily deployable to schools because it uses Microsoft Office, and most schools probably already have Microsoft Office running. And if not, it's pretty easy to have a Microsoft subscription set up at the school. With that, I will first proceed with a demo of the application, and after that, we can talk about the implementation details of the app. On this screen right here, the only thing that we can do is click on this View Categories button, and I'll proceed with that. That takes you to a screen right here, which tells you to select an event category from the tiles below. And there's 4 options: community service, education, music, and sports. So I'll select education. That takes you to a screen that displays a list of all the education related events that are happening at the school. And there's some filtering capabilities up here in order to filter our results accordingly as we need. So I would like to sort these events in descending order, and I'm really interested in taking a PSAT. So let's see if there's any PSAT examinations happening. As you see, as I type a letter, the gallery at the bottom gets filtered accordingly. And right here, there is a PSAT examination on July the 3rd and May the 29th. And so I will select the PSAT examination that's happening on May the 29th. And that takes us to a screen here which displays some important details about the event, such as the description, the date, the start time, the end time, the number of tickets remaining, and the price per ticket. And since I'm the only guy who's going to take person who's going to do the examination, I'll leave the default quantity of 1 and proceed to checkout. That takes you to a similar screen which just contains the number of tickets that I'm planning to purchase, which is 1, and the total price. In this case, it's free, so nothing changes. And now it asks me to enter in my first name and my email, which I will proceed right now. And as you might have noticed, there's no payment option, payment inputs, and that's one feature that I have not yet implemented into this application, and it will be implemented later. If anyone has any suggestions as to how to go about that, please leave a comment after watching the video. And so right here we have a place order. We can go ahead and place the order. And you see we get a processing banner at the top of the screen. And after that, it says that it takes you to a confirmation page that tells you that your order has been placed, and you'll receive a confirmation email in a few seconds. So let me go to the email that I actually put in that input field. And as we see here, we got an email from PSAT, or not from Microsoft PowerApps, and the subject of the email is PSAT examination. The name of the event, the subject of the email is the name of the event followed by ticket confirmation, And the details of the email, it says, hi, your name, and it says you successfully purchased a ticket for this event, and the total price is this, and here's your barcode. And so uh, that shows that the app works successfully. And that concludes the demo portion of the uh, consumer side of the application. So now you might be asking, how can an administrator use this app? If, let's say, a school administrator wants to add some more events or view some important information about these events, how will they be able to do that through this app? Well, there's another app that I have created that accomplishes what I just said, and so we can take a look at that right now. In order to show you the admin side of this app, there is one thing that we will have to change. So all the data that's being used for this app is coming from an Excel spreadsheet. So we see here that our school events that we had been seeing on the app are actually coming from the spreadsheet right here. And there's also a spreadsheet for the people that purchased the tickets, a spreadsheet for um, the event categories, and finally a spreadsheet for all of the administrators. And so in order for me to show you the admin side of the app, I need to make sure one of these emails is the account that I'm registered with, because the the way this app works is that depending on whose account is being used, the appropriate screen is shown. So if you're not an admin, then your information will not appear here, and you will see this screen right here. However, if you are an admin, then your information will appear here, and the administrator version of the app will be shown here. So I will first change this to reflect my email, and now I will proceed with I'll do a quick refresh of this page. And I will play the app. And we see here that the admin version of the app is launched. And so the admin table that I showed you in the Excel spreadsheet is what controls which home screen is presented for this application. Uh, in the admin version of the app, there's a slight theme change. It's green as opposed to blue for the consumer. And all the uh, important information is essentially on one screen now. So we have some filtering capabilities up here. We can sort by event date, and we can look at all of the events, the active events, and any of the expired events. And so let's see what all of these icons actually do. So this icon will allow you to add a new event. Let's say a school administrator wants to add a new event. I'll go ahead and do that. For lack of a better name, I'll just say the event name is event name. And keep the event category community service. We'll keep the event description. We'll keep the event date today. And for the start time, we'll just keep it at 6 p.m. and the end time at 7 p.m. The total number of tickets is, let's say, 20, and the price per ticket is $5, and it's an active event, so we will save. So it says the event was successfully added, and if we check here, that the event is been. Oh, right here. The sorry guys, I thought I couldn't find the event, but yeah, right here. Event name has been successfully added right here. And so let's see what this icon does. It says view event information. So this takes you to a screen. This allows the administrator to view the important details about the event, such as the name, the category, description, the date, start time, end time, the total number of tickets, the number of tickets sold, number of tickets remaining. And so this will give the schools an idea of sales of this event, and if they need to, adjust their prices accordingly so that more people can buy tickets and whatnot. You can also look at people. This next icon is you can see the event attendees. So I will first go to, let's do this one. You can see here, this is the event that I actually purchased a ticket for. And so it says here the person's name, just me, and I purchased a ticket. The next thing you can look at is the pencil icon, which, as you might have guessed, is the update. And so I'm just gonna say this, pick this event, and I think this event's not gonna happen on the 10th. It's actually gonna happen on the 9th. So let's do that. Press save. And the event was successfully updated. So let's see, July the 9th, it changed. And so the last icon that are here is a delete icon. Let's say that this event, I don't want it. So when you click on the delete icon, it first takes you to the screen containing all the event information, just like the view event information icon, just to make sure that this is the event that you want to delete, because once you press this button right here, it's going to be deleted. So I'm 100% sure this is the event I want to delete. I press the delete button. And that successfully deletes the event. And so now the event does not exist. And so that concludes the demo portion of both the admin side and the consumer side of the application. And now we can go into a little bit of the implementation details of the application. All right, I'll first close this app and let's open up the Canvas application in edit view. All right, so the it's finally loaded, and so there's actually a lot of logic that's been put into this to make this work. So I will just go over some of the most important ones. So as I mentioned before, the like which screen gets shown to the user. So on what I did for that is on the on start for the app. Let's scroll down to the very bottom right here. I use the user function to grab the email and do a lookup on the admin table to check to see if that if that account actually exists in the table. And if it doesn't exist, then that means that this will return an empty, or this lookup will not return a record. And if it doesn't return a record, that means that the person that's using the app is actually a consumer and not an admin. And so I just navigate to the client for that. Otherwise, I navigate to the admin. And since this record returns nothing, I can just do an is blank on that just to see if it's empty. So that's the logic for which screen shows up. And another thing that I do on the on start is all the themes that the color schemes that I use throughout the app. I define that in the on start with the separate variables, right, such as these. And then for each of these buttons, we have a navigate an appropriate navigate to get to the next screen. So for the ad, you go to that, and then for the view event, I have the view event. And so for the admin, for each of these icons, I have a separate screen that handles it. So as we saw through those, as I click through them, I just have a navigate and I pass in the appropriate screen that will take me there. And then we can take a look at another thing we can take a look at is the admin add and event details. So what I do here is, as you notice on this app right here, we have a red asterisk to indicate that these events are required. And so I have a nested if statement to make sure that all those fields are actually filled in. And once all of those are successfully filled in, we can just update our school events table using the patch function and passing in defaults for all of the records, and which indicates that I just want to add a new record and not just change an individual record. And for each of the respective columns in that table, I pass in the appropriate input fields that are on this form. And so this is actually a form that I created, and it is linked with the school events source. So for the update, we will take a look at that. Similar logic to the add, except the only change is on my patch. Instead of providing defaults for this argument right here, I find the appropriate record that I need to update. And so in the school events table inside that spreadsheet, each event is uniquely identified by its event ID. And so I find the record in the table that has the same event ID as the event that I selected on the screen, and I patch that appropriate record. So that's the only thing that changes with the update. And delete also works the same way. So in this case, instead of updating, I'm just going to do a remove, and I just check the ID. And for the view, it's this one. For the view, it's a little different. We can just take a look at that. Data source is school. Yeah, so I'll just show one entry from the view form. We'll just take a look at the view event. So for this, we can see the default. It's just whatever element I selected from my gallery, that event's selected event name. So as we see here in our gallery, we have a list of events, and this is called home screen events gallery. And so all the information that's displayed there is just based on whatever element's being selected. See, and that's what I have shown here. And then for this, for each of the the success screens that indicate that it's been added or updated, we can just take a look at the add screen as an example. I just have a navigate to that screen. That's all. And for each of the screens, I have a way to navigate to the previous screen and to other screens, which makes it easier. And so that is everything for the admin side. So as you see here, the naming convention that I've used is I've grouped all the admins together and I've grouped all the clients together. And so now I showed you the logic for the admin. Let's take a look at the client. So the navigates are going to be the same, so I don't want to take time going over that. Same thing with this. This will show you. Actually, I can probably show you this part. This is probably important. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is the. Yeah. So on this screen, whenever you click on the category, I have a variable that I set a variable equal to the name of this category, which is used in the all events screen to display all the relevant events with that specific category. So I'll just show you right here. So this gallery right here actually is the items that are being showed is based on which category you've clicked. And I have some nested if statements to consider each particular case. One for community service, one for music, one for education, and one for sports. In addition, there's also the text input, the search event text input. And so I just want to we have to account for that to make sure it's either blank or if it has the placeholder text. And so that's all this is doing. And based on the appropriate if statement, I just sort my I first filter the data source accordingly based on the category that was selected. And once I do that, I sort based on the event date that was selected by the user. So that's all that this is doing. And then if we look at the individual events screen, it's a similar logic as this. So if you look at the, or as the admin, so if you look at the view icon, I just navigate to the screen. That's basically all I do. And another thing I didn't get to mention in the demo of the client version of this app is these banners right here, these green and salmon banners. So if we go to this element and we check the fill property of it, essentially the way these banners work is that if the number of tickets that are remaining for that event is equal to 0, then we keep it salmon. Otherwise, we keep it lime. And in addition, if you notice, only the events that have tickets remaining have this view icon, because obviously there's no point of trying to purchase. You can't purchase a ticket for an event that's sold out. So that's why for this planetarium tour, since the event is sold out, there's no view icon, and the banner color is salmon, and the other ones are green with a view icon. We can look at this is a checkout. This doesn't have anything important. Let's go to the checkout screen. That's probably what you all wanted to see. So after I click on this place order button, I make sure to check if the fields are empty. And then I also I try to make sure that the email is in a valid format, because some people could just put in some email that's not valid, then it would work, but you would not get the ticket, and you would just be robbed of your money. So you don't want that to happen. And so I check all of that, and then I have this notification. That's the green banner that I showed you. I use the notify function, and then we patch our school events, because now a user has bought a ticket, and so we want to update the spreadsheet reflecting that. Similarly, the registered users, which is the people or the consumer that bought the ticket, we want to store that information in the registered users table. So I have a patch for that. And then the actual mail that gets sent is right here. So I just use the mail connector for that. You can see here the mail connector, and I just send in the email, and then this is the subject, and then this is just the email content. And for the QR code, I just used an external, or I just used a free QR code generator. And so if you actually scan that QR code, it'll actually take you to a thumbs up sign, which is my indication of a successful purchase ticket. So I'll just close this. And so with that, I've basically shown y'all the implementation details for the school events app, and that concludes the video. So please like and leave any comments regarding what you thought about this video. Thank you, and you have a nice day. Bye.